Hello everyone, Professor Badcraft is here, and welcome back to another Funredstone episode. Today is episode 50, another milestone for the Funredstone series. And to celebrate that milestone, in today's episode, I'm gonna show to all of you one of my most complicated farm that I have built quite a while now. The machine that you are looking right behind me here is a fully automatic, no player needed Azalea tree farm. This farm is a very interesting farm that I have designed and I want to share to all of you. So if you are interested in Redstone and you want to know about how the machine works, how this machine behind me works, I will explain every single thing about the farm, and I will also try to simplify everything so you can understand it in the most basic form. I will explain how the mechanics of the farm works, and the mechanic which I use in order to make the farm, some redstone explanation so you can understand how the redstone work. So if for some reason the farm broken while you are using, you can fix it because you have understand how the redstone works and how to use the farm, the rate of the farm, and some just general advice when using the farm. All right, without any further delay, let's jump right into the first part of the episode. Oh, and by the way, I split this episode into multiple parts, which will be labeled on the screen right now. And yeah, we will be following all of these from top to bottom. Okay, let's start with our first part, which will gonna be the mechanic of the farm. Let's get right into it. And a disclaimer here, in order to not break the farm accidentally, I will be holding a saw because as you can see when I hold my I tap my screen like that, the saw just hit, but it will not gonna break the blocks, so I don't accidentally break the farm. Alright, let's get started. First, I will be explaining the mechanic, aka how to grow the azalea tree. Alright, for those who doesn't know about this mechanic, basically Mojang has add this block into the game. This is the moss block, and well, I should probably build a platform for it because it's really blend into the ground. So give me a second. All right, and that is much better. Anyways, let's continue. In order to grow an azalea trees, you need to have azalea bushes or flowering azalea bushes. In order to get the azalea bushes or the flowering variation, you have to bone meal the moss block. And if you bone meal the moss block enough time, there will be a chance that an azalea bushes will gonna generate like that. So this is an azalea tree, and if you bone meal this azalea bushes, the bushes will gonna turn into an azalea tree. So observe, this is an azalea tree. Now that should raise an alert because you can essentially grow a tree without any player input. So all you have to do is build this sort of moss block arrangement. Then you just have to bone meal the moss block. You can bone meal this, and this moss block will also affect this moss block, or you can bone meal this moss block and that moss block will gonna interact with this. basically turning the two blocks into moss block. So now we have an azalea tree, and as you can see, the azalea tree turned the moss block that was previously there to rooted dirt. So this is the block of dirt, and you can change this rooted dirt back to normal dirt, which is the thing all around this flat wall, by simply uh, using a hole and right click on it, or if you are on mobile device, just tap on it with a hole. Or in more recent update, you can use a shovel to turn the rooted dirt into path block, and when you put a solid block on that path block, it will turn into normal dirt again. So yeah, that is very interesting that this farm can generate basically infinite dirt, and it is a very interesting farm. Okay, so now you have know the basics of how to grow an azalea tree, which is just bone meal, the moss block, until we have an azalea bushes generate up here. Now on to our next problem. As you can see, these are all of the vegetation that can generate when you bone meal the moss block. So we have here the moss carpet, a little bit hard to see, but as you can see, it is there. Next off, we have grass, a very normal grass, and we have double toe grass here, and these are the plants that we want, the azalea bushes and the flowering azalea bushes. So the problem here is how to split these three vegetation from these two vegetation. And one more thing, there is another possibility that when you bone meal the moss block, there will be nothing generate above of the moss block. So we have to somehow separate this plant, this vegetation, and also the empty moss block from these two azalea bushes. So one way that I have found out is that I take advantage of the hitbox, the collision box of this vegetation, and also the non vegetation above the moss block, like that. We in the machine, as you can see there, I use items. I drop items from above down into the moss block. So when you drop items onto this in this case, the item will gonna land on the moss block itself, apart from the carpet, the moss carpet. But underneath of the mouse block, I have a hopper mic card. Let's go to the machine so we can see it a little bit clear. Okay, so here is where we are gonna detect we do the separation of the all of the other plants from the azalea bushes and the flowering azalea. So here it is the here's the dropper, which we're gonna drop the items to this area. We were gonna have a dropper here, and we're gonna have a piston here to push that item to here. So basically there will be an item like this, like that, be dropped by that dropper, and this piston we're gonna push that item to here. If we have, let's say, an azalea bushes like that, then the item will gonna land on top like that. But if there's nothing here, or moss carpet, or grass and tall grass, then the item will gonna land very close to that moss block, directly above that moss block. And let's see here, underneath that moss block, as you can see, we have a hopper minecart that we're gonna suck the items down. And that is how I detect if there is an azalea bushes or a flying azalea bushes here or not. Now you don't necessarily need it to detect if there is an azalea bush there, because the bone meal that it wastes is not too much. But I just really like the idea to put the detection system in, so I put it in. And here's where I need your help. If you have any other solution to detect the azalea bushes and flying azalea bushes, apart from the other plants, then let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your ideas. All right, let's go back to the explanation. Alright, so now we have all of the plants here, and we have a solution to separate these two bushes from all of these possible outcomes. Now what to do? Alright, so in order to continue with our progress, the next thing that we're gonna do is, well, just bone meal the azalea bushes until we can have a tree, and after that we just harvest the tree and the dirt. So yeah, that is basically the mechanics that I use in the farm in order to farm the trees without player input. Very simple. And if you haven't understand, yes, I will gonna summarize everything here. The first step, we need to generate plants on top of the moss block. In order to do that, we need to bone meal the moss block. It's not necessary needs to be directly, but this is the moss block that you want. You can bone meal this moss block or moss block underneath here. It is all fine. It just needs to be in the 1 block radius of this moss block. Alright, so after that we need a way to detect and these two plants from these 4 outcomes. And after that we just have to bone meal these two the azalea bushes and the flying azalea bushes to grow an azalea tree. Very simple. Now that you have understand how the mechanics behind the farm works, let's go to our next part of the machine, which will gonna be the redstone. I will be explaining how the redstone works, and yeah, just generally how to harvest the tree itself, and some minor game mechanics that I haven't told you in this segment. Alright, let's go to that a part of the episode. Alright, it is the redstone explanation time. Now, this redstone mesh right here, in order for you to understand it a lot more clearly, I will split this this machine into 2 parts. The first part will be the brain of the system, and the second part will be the harvesting system. Alright, we're gonna start with the brain. So here is the brain, which is the bottom part of the machine. This is the part that we're gonna detect the azalea bushes, bone meal it, and also replace the rooted dirt, as you can see here, with a new let's see here, moss block. So the new moss block is there, and as you can see, there are a lot of redstone to it, so I will be explain every single thing, but in a very simple form for those that don't understand a lot about redstone, and because I am very bad at explaining this sort of complicated machine. Okay, so we're gonna start from the activator lever. Yes, this thing has a master lever, which is this lever here. So this lever, we're gonna activate all of the brain of the system. So the brain is underneath here. When you turn on the farm, the first thing that will gonna happen is, let's see here, there will be a dispenser. Let me find a dispenser. So that dispenser will gonna be on the other side of that moss block right there. That moss block will gonna bone meal that moss block there, and there will be plants generate on top of these two moss blocks. And yeah, we are gonna run the system in a clock, and to detect that clock, to detect if the azalea trees and azalea bushes generated there, we are gonna have items drop from this dropper and push by this piston down to here. And underneath that moss block, there will be a hopper minecart. That hopper minecart will gonna suck items from the dropper above, which is this dropper right here. This the items we're gonna go into this we're gonna go into this hopper. The comparator can read the items that is in there, giving an output to this comparator delay. This comparator delay will gonna run into the checking system right here. This checking system will gonna check if there is an azalea trees or not. So here's how it works. If there's no azalea trees, then this part of the system, this comparator part here, will gonna not this comparator part, this comparator part here, we're gonna activate to inform the machine that there is no azalea trees there. So the system will gonna repeat again, and it will gonna continue cycle through the bone meal attempts. So here is the part that controls it. We have two sticky piston. It will gonna push the observer and this block out, and as you can see here, we have a very long delay here. The reason for that is, let's follow that line. As you can see from, let's see here we have a line of redstone dust to run into this clock. As you can see, if the comparator over here have an item coming through the hoppers, then this line gonna activate, powering these two sticky piston. And because these two sticky piston is not powered, they were gonna push the observer and the block out to here, cutting the redstone signal here from reaching to this piston. This piston here is the part that controls all of the harvesting system of the machine. But if there is an azalea bushes generated here, the items will gonna sit above the azalea bushes, and the hopper minecart cannot pick the item up, which result in the hopper here not receiving any items, and this comparator will not turn on because there's no item. And because of that, this part of the circuit will not gonna activate, and the redstone line here will be the redstone line here can now power this piston because this block is not being moved out by that sticky piston. So now because of that, this piston, we're gonna push this redstone block to here. Let's follow the redstone line. It will gonna activate, let's see here, it will gonna activate this redstone touch here. This redstone touch, we're gonna, let's follow it. We're gonna go to this point. Now this is the point, this is the safety the safety key. No, not the safety key, it is a safe lock. So to protect the machine from detecting the system when the Azalea bushes is here. The reason for that is this: when the Azalea bushes is here, let's follow the redstone line. Let's see. We have this redstone line here, this redstone line, and this redstone line. Oh, this repeater here, as you can see. Okay, now this is very complicated. Let's fall back a little bit. We're gonna come back to this line of redstone later on. Let's follow this repeater instead. Alright, so we're gonna go to here. If we're gonna activate that block we're gonna activate, let's see here. Yes, if we're gonna activate this piston, we're gonna push this line of blocks to here. This line, this redstone block, let's see, we're gonna move to here. That means this sticky piston we're gonna retract because there's no redstone power nearby. And let's see here, we have yes, we have a block. The block we're gonna be moved to here. And let's see, we have a observer here to create a comparator clock here. Oh no, not a comparator clock, but a comparator delay circuit. This delay circuit will gonna make sure that it is activated at this correct time. And as you can see here, we have an observer that is stick to by this sticky piston. When this redstone block is out, the two observer here and here we're gonna merge, creating a redstone clock, a observer clock. And the observer clock, we're gonna rapidly activate this dispenser full of bone meal to bone meal the azalea bushes into an azalea tree. Now when the azalea tree is grown, the system here, we're gonna detect that. Will not exactly detect the system, but it will gonna run on this delay right here because I couldn't detect the azalea trees growing very easily. The reason for that is an azalea trees, in order to grow, requires a minimum space of a 3 by 3 let's see, a 3 by 3 space over here in order to grow, and it requires a 7 by 7 blocks area in order to grow the branch. So yeah, that is why I cannot place any redstone components up here, because it will gonna prevent the trees from growing. Okay, so after the tree has grown, the system will gonna see that the tree has grown, and because of that, let's see here, because of that, it will gonna activate this line, like, okay, let's see here. Okay, so you're gonna activate this safety lock as well. This safety lock is here to make sure that the machine will not gonna activate at the wrong time, because when the harvesting system is in progress, there can be some items items drop from the leaves, mean yeah, drop from the leaves and decay from the leaves and fall down right into the moss block area. And if we don't have this safety lock, the system will gonna think that, oh, there is items, so that means the harvesting system is done, and they will gonna restart the machine while the tree is still harvesting, which can result in the machine breaking very badly. Okay, next up, let's return back to this observer. This observer, we're gonna detect that, activate, let's see here, activate this sticky piston. This sticky piston, we're gonna activate this piston, pushing everything back to its normal original position. And because of that, this sticky piston, we're gonna push this observer back here, activate this stone generator. We need this stone generator because now the azalea trees had turned the moss block into rooted dirt, and because we want to harvest the dirt, we need to push the rooted dirt out of that area, and after that we're gonna have a gap there, and in order to not have that gap, we're gonna push the stone back in here. That is a mechanic of the of Minecraft. Now that is just the brain of the system, which is very complicated, but I think I have explained almost everything that you need to know. The most simplest part of the machine. Now let's get to a more breathable part of the machine, which is the harvesting system. Now the harvesting system is not doing too much. If you have seen the previous if you have seen an azalea trees, then you know that the azalea trees have branches to it. And if you have seen any tree farms in Minecraft in general, or you have watched one of my other tree farm, which is a fully automatic bee farm, then you will know that harvesting a tree means you have to push the logs out of the system. And if you remember what I have said like quite a moment ago, the azalea trees required a 3x3 area here to grow, and a 7x7 area up here to grow the branches. And in order to harvest the branches, we need to push all of the blocks that is part of the branch to the middle, so we can harvest, we can pull the logs out of the way using this line of triple piston extender. So it is very simple. And in order to let's see here, in order to so for example, I have here some iron blocks represent the azalea trees. And this is one thing that I haven't mentioned about azalea trees. An azalea trees can grow the actual tree trunk itself can grow this is the max side of the trees. Another side of it, which is a smaller side, that is just 5 logs like that. And this is the six, this the 6 logs high azalea tree. So we have 2 variants of height, and it has 4 variants of uh, horizontal direction. So the branch can branch to here, here, and here, and also here. So that's one thing I haven't mentioned, but now you know. Alright, so in order to harvest this tree trunk, as you can see here, we have to push the branch somehow to make it into a line like this. And a very effective way that I have found out is if you activate, let's see here, if you activate this triple piston, this triple piston standard 3 times, then the whole chunk is able to be harvested. So let's watch that happen. I'm gonna flick the first one. As you can see here, we have harvested most of the trunks apart from this log, which is represented by the iron block. But if you activate again, then as you can see, we have successfully harvested the whole system. Oh, not the whole system, but the whole trees. And for the dirt and the 1 block of log here, we have this piston to push everything, all of the logs to a central point right here. So we have the dirt, the logs, and yeah, that is how everything works. The harvesting system is very simple. And after everything is done, after the harvesting system is done, the harvesting system we're gonna tell the bottom part here that it is done, and the cycle we're gonna start again, which is this clock. We're gonna start again. Overall, it is not too complicated, but yeah, it is a very non-friendly machine if you want to understand every single thing about it. But for user friendly, it is actually very simple. All you have to do is flick this lever and everything should work. And for the bone meal, I have also make it so the bone meal input and the lever is on the same place. So here is where you are gonna put your bone meal. Here is where you're gonna activate the machine. Very simple. And yeah, that is basically all of the redstone. I hope that I have explained everything that you need to know, and hopefully you understand everything. Well, not everything, but enough for you to operate the farm by yourself. So now we have understand how the redstone works. Everything has been simplified to an absolute limit. Apologize for my badly explanation, but yeah, I hope that you guys understand all of this mess. But now let's go to the part that I think all of you are still waiting, which is how efficient is this farm. Let's get to it. Now fortunately for you guys, I've already done this part for you. So with this farm, it can generate up to 284 logs per hour, which is which can be translated into 4.4375 stacks per hour. And for the rooted dirt, you can expect around 56 rooted dirt per hour for this for this farm. All right, but all of these items have a cost, which is bone meal. This farm will gonna consume 363 bone meals per hour, 13.484 stacks per hour. Apologize for my bad I don't know of my eyes just deceive me. So yeah, a not too decent farm if you want to get a lot of blocks, because 204 and 280 blocks per hour is not a great number for a very complicated farm like this. But the cool side about this is you can get dirt from it. So yeah, that is one thing that you can get that is very important for builders or terraformers. And the bone meal consume of the machine is also very reasonable. With 863, all you have to do is build around 4 of my bone meal farms that I have published into on my channel a while ago. You can check it out, link in the description. So yeah, that is basically everything about this farm, or the rate is here. And if you are wondering what is this comment blocks is for, is just for clearing the blocks here. So yeah, but of course you have to hook all of these logs and their dirt into a blast chamber, or a chamber where you can break the blocks by hand, or with a cage, a gas chamber. It is your choice. So yeah, not too great, but not too bad either. And believe it or not, this is a second version of this farm. I have built one prototype before this, and that prototype produced a lot less than this. So that is a great improvement. But of course it depends on the RNG, because I cannot guarantee that those number will gonna be right. If you are unlucky, the rate can be like just half of the rates that I am showing here. It's based on luck basically. So yeah, a very decent farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And one more thing, this farm only works for Minecraft Bedrock because I use a lot of mechanics that is not present on Java Edition. And so yeah, it is Bedrock only. Okay, so don't use this in Java or it will gonna break. So that wraps up everything about this farm. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It is quite a hot episode for me, because I don't usually explain this sort of complicated redstone, because it's too much for my brain. Like when I build complicated machine, only I can understand. I don't know how to explain it like easy in a easier form for other people to understand. So if you have any tips on how to improve on that, let me know in the comments below. And one more thing, if you want to see this farm in action and you want to use it for your own use, then I will provide a word download for this farm in the video description down below, so you can enjoy watching this farm break miserably. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching again. It is quite a journey now, episode 50 already. And yeah, overall I will still continue to come up with interesting redstone contraption to show to all of you. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's end this by flicking the actual machine up, shall we?